Welcome back to the Gemini channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Gemini. Know that energy is fluid. Rules could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play as karmic themes to help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing. Really important when you're dealing with a person that creates illusions, wears masks, creates facades. We feel one thing, they do something else. We don't understand why. All we know is that it's triggering. And the trigger tells us that that's where we need healing. See, once you understand why on a spiritual level, which is just a psychological level, you're able to integrate the spiritual lesson, which just means do something different. You learned. And in the fact of learning, you did something different, you got a different result. Unfortunately, when we're dealing with karmic people, those people, they harden us. They make us, they hurt us on that psychological and emotional level. And so again, we form habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with that. Sometimes they're actually positive. A lot of times they're not. So again, when I say positive, sometimes you get a better result out of what it is that you're trying to achieve. And other times what you do is you overcompensate in the fact of what you perceive through the situation. You may perceive that you're not safe. So you're like overcompensate and maybe again, not being as emotionally open, not being as grounded, not being as, again, we form habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with the perceived experience. So in order to heal the effects of psychological and emotional trauma, we have to integrate the spiritual lesson and also transmute the negative energy, meaning we have to embody a new consciousness. When we go through an experience that's traumatic, it creates a emotional imprint on the subconscious mind, and that is felt through the child self as an emotion. So that emotion, when we get triggered, obviously, the emotion, that energy is what comes back up. It's that trigger that projects that emotion. But that is where our healing, where we're able to actually see that we need healing. We're able to see certain clues to see what we need healing in. Why that's important is because we're able to, once we do something different, we're healing our our own karma, but ancestral karma, and we're able to actually achieve a life that's more in alignment with who we are, not just on a physical level, but on a spiritual level. So evolution, we can actually see ourselves like living the dreams that we want to dream, and that we're all actually capable of doing that, but we have to embody the new consciousness. And that's when we again step into the higher levels of consciousness, which are all derived from unconditional love. That's why we we do shadow reading, right? We do shadow readings because we want to see where we're blocked, where we are blocking ourselves from achieving the life and the life experiences that we want to have. And we are the alchemists of our life. What do we need to do? So again, when we're saying we're the alchemists of our life, we have to first change our mind. We have to see what are the core beliefs. No one actually walks around saying, I'm not deserving, I'm not deserving. I mean, some people may actually, but the majority of people are not. Understand it's experiences that they've gone through that has made them perceive that narrative. But that's one reality. There's many different realities that play it at one time. God is all knowing. We are not separate from God because again, we are the energy of unconditional love. So being able to see the limitations that we put onto ourselves requires us to actually, unfortunately, go through the negative karmic experience, right? All right. Now, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel you can find in the description box. If you want to enter into a free reading with me, you gotta like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. And again, that's on the first card that I pull out. And it's just the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. We need to know that because we're dealing with people that wear masks, they create facades and illusions. We feel that there's something off. Intuitively, we're called that we say, hey, something's not right. But logically and analytically, sometimes we can't see. A lot of times we can see also over time, but we say, why? Why can't we see the spiritual block right from the beginning? Why are those spiritual blocks there to begin with? And but most importantly, what do we need to do to heal those spiritual blocks? Because those spiritual blocks are what is separating me from the life and the life experiences that I want to have. Whether that's I want to have a healthy and happy relationship, or I want to have financial abundance. It's again, or sometimes it's both. A lot of times people have spiritual blocks straight across the board, especially if they don't love themselves, if they feel like they're not deserving. Doesn't mean that they can't obtain it. What it means is that they always lose it. All right. Anything of any importance or relevance, as I just said, is in the description box. Not just a word of the video, but my shadow healing coaching program, my website link, and all that good stuff. Any link. All right. The word of the video is unstructured. Unstructured. I'm feeling like you're in a place of feeling like I don't really know what I'm doing. Like almost like you're trying to find your way and it feels uncomfortable. And it's because, you know, we can have an idea of what we want to become. We can have an idea of, you know, what what how to even go about what we want to become, right? But grounding it is a different story. And so grounding it means that we can have at first the idea of what we perceive that it's going to look like, but when we actually embody trying to do it, it doesn't look like what we imagined in our mind. And that could be, I'm not getting the results that I thought that I was going to get from whatever it is, whatever your project is, whatever it is that you're doing. And I feel like it's because what you do is different. And so when you do what's different, you have to be able to explain. And you have to be able to not just explain, but you have to, on the same token, make it sound enticing. And so, like, it's through being able to express and motivate. And that only happens through belief in what you do. And so really you're on a faith walk when anybody first starts. Because a faith walk means I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's going to happen. I just have faith that God will make a way where there is no way. That the universe will see what I am trying to do and bring me the resources that I need. So there's a bit of it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. I don't know what I'm doing. And so Spirit says that's why you always have to start off with the mindset of a child. That's why it says be like childlike, because children don't have an expectation of what it's going to look like, because sometimes they're just starting off. It's almost like sometimes a painter has a vision of what they have in their mind of what they're going to do. But then they get into their meditative state and they begin to create. And so, do they know exactly what that painting's going to look like? No, it's an unfoldment process. They get ideas. It's an intuitive. So this is what life is. No matter what you are, whether you're a painter, whether you're uh, um, an educator, whether you're like, it doesn't matter what you are. You could be a plumber, you could be an electrician, you could be something that's not even like I'm a clerk at the grocery store. Doesn't matter. It's what you do and how you do it is an unfoldment process. But if you are focused on the wrong thing, and the wrong things are, you know, not believing in yourself, letting other people's opinions of what you do interfere with what you do, then it takes you off your path because then you are trying to adapt to the outside world. And the outside world is never going to want you to do what's best for you. So you really have to get into that psychic mind. And the psychic mind is a meditative mind, where it's where you can escape into yourself. It's a co-creation process. So this isn't even about relationship. This is about you finding yourself, your soul's purpose. Saying, I'm maybe again, some of you are not satisfied within your job. And you're like, I'm not satisfied and I can't get another job. I go from job to job and I feel drained. There's never enough. How can I get out of the place of limitation? How can I get out of the mindset of lack? How can I get out of, well, we have to get into a place of gratitude for what we have first. And again, and we have to again come from the mindset of we're starting off as a child, that every master starts off as a disaster. And it's because it's again through the heart, through the faith walk, one finds themselves. And it's a co-creation process. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Spirit says you have to be in the creative mind, which is to be like a child. Be like childlike means that you are again in that energy of doing what you love, doing what just interests you and fulfills you. And it could be anything from you could be an accountant and like to do math and lose yourself in the numbers because hey, numbers don't have emotions. So numbers are safe. Numbers are again, some people like that energy. They feel safer in it, they thrive in it, and thank God they do. Because other people, again, they don't have that energy. They have other energy and they contribute through their own unique individuality. And that's their unfoldment process. And it's learning. So understand it's an unstructured process. And that's affecting you. It's affecting your energy because you have expectation. You have to get into a place of no expectation. You're not in charge of how you get there, meaning how you achieve success. You're only in charge of being in the passion for life, doing what you love, connecting to people and situations. Again, holding on to too much negativity is going to actually push away what it is that you're trying to achieve. So again, we have to say, where am I being negative? What am I focusing on? Because again, that's creative energy wasted. And so we don't want to waste our energy. So a lot of times it's best to stay in isolation during the times of trying to manifest. Because again, you're going to become more balanced. Again, other people's energy is not going to affect you because everyone has opinions, everybody's in their own reality. And if you were conditioned in an environment where you were taught that you were not deserving, you were taught that you weren't good enough, that you were taught by those energies are still inside of you. You have to integrate them, you know? So understand they're going to rear their ugly head when you go out into the physical world. So we have to understand that saying, well, we can't get rid of negativity, but we can control ourselves. We can get into the energy that we need to get into. And that's hard sometimes, especially when you feel like the world is against you. But God says, no, nothing can stop you. You stop you by what you choose to feed. So again, don't abandon yourself. True abandonment comes when you leave yourself. Did you ever notice when your life is good, everyone wants to be around you? Everyone's cheering for you. Even your haters are holding the door for you. But when you abandon yourself, you lose it all. And then no one's there for you. So you got to focus on what it is that you're trying to create and put all your energy there. Use all your energy. That's your time, your energy, your focus, your money, anything that's going to help grow you, to create you. But understand that there's going to be people and situations that are going to be imbalanced. We do not control the outer world. You want to know how you can integrate spiritual blockages, because it's not that you can not have what it is that you want to manifest. You have to overcome the limitations of your mind and with your perceptions due to the experiences that you have lived. So, and that could be, again, it being very logical and analytical, and that's, oh, I want to be an actor, but no one's an actor, 1 in 1,000 people, and I'm not good enough. So you don't put time in. Remember, it's how much love you pour into something. That is how the universe responds. It's not about the perfect energy. It's about how much love, how much time, how much energy, how much passion. And that passion is connected to love. It's connected to that. That is what becomes. That's why they say the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it. And understand, we're all David going up against Goliath. Spirit says, don't do my job, do your job. Be like childlike, love what you do. Be in the energy of believing. And that a lot of times means we fake it till we make it. And Spirit says, don't abandon yourself because you're like, well, I don't really know what, I'm not seeing it unfold the way that I actually thought that it would. Because Spirit says, well, you're not in charge of how we get there. Because I'm going to bring you the people and the situations and the experiences that change your mind and your heart. Because you wouldn't change your mind and your heart. We get comfortable in our perceptions. We get comfortable in the way that we are. And so the universe has to create situations and scenarios that happen, bring people into our life that influence us, that show us something different. And so understand you're on this path. And so it's really uncomfortable, is what Spirit is saying. And it's made to be uncomfortable. It's made to, again, open up vulnerability. And that means that you have to like release control. You have to be open to it. So Spirit's saying that's number one. So understand when you're in this energy, you're not really going to attract good relationships a lot of times, because understand that you're like, I'm not really comfortable and I'm in a place I'm not really truly believing in myself. And so there's only two energies, love and fear. And so you're not in the most confident energy. So you're going to attract the energy that you hold. And again, there only being two energies, love and fear.